Hello. Okay. Let me make sure it's recording. Recording. Let's see. Okay. Hold on. Okay, it's recording. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so my name is Laleh and I am studying at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition to become a health coach. And I have 3 children of my own, as some of you guys know. I have a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And I've come up with strategies to have them love eating healthy foods. They also like to eat candies and cookies and all that stuff, but like any normal child. But they also love to eat broccoli and kale and all different kinds of salads, nuts, seeds, beans, legumes, almost everything. And I wanted to share with you guys the strategies that I've taken to get them to that point, because I don't think that they were born that way or I'm lucky or it just, yeah. I'm definitely, it's not like a luck thing. It's things that I've done. And I want to share what I've done with you guys so that I can help you in any way possible. So, how to raise your child to love eating healthy, yummy food. First of all, I want to acknowledge everyone who signed up for this class, because it tells me a lot about you. It tells me that you love your child and that you recognize that eating healthy foods is like the foundation of the well-being of a person, of a human being. And I acknowledge you for recognizing that it's extremely important, and I'm excited for you to take the steps to give your children the best health possible. So here are some common things people tell me about their children and their eating. Like when I go to the park or when I go to, anywhere I go where there are kids, people always come up to me because they see me see my kids eating salads and vegetables and fruits and all these things and nuts. And they're like, I don't understand. How do your kids like this food? My kids, all they want to eat are chips and cookies. They never eat. They take 1 or 2 bites of the food I make them, and they just not interested. And what else do they say to me? They say my kids refuse to try new foods. I work so hard to cook dinner, and they won't eat my food. My husband won't even eat my food. And it's so hard because we work so hard. We go food shopping, we look up recipes, we spend time cooking the food, and then when people don't end up eating our food, it's really, really upsetting. And then we waste our money, and it's not a good feeling. So before I give you guys the strategies, I want to help all of us understand why. Like, why are kids nowadays so picky? Why do kids, why do they not want to eat like broccoli? And why don't they want to eat a bunch of vegetables and healthy foods? Why do they want to have cookies and chips and all this stuff? And I mean, were kids like this 150 years ago? So, by the way, before anyone starts taking this advice, I want to say that obviously this is for a healthy average child. It's not, if you got to make sure your child doesn't have like sensory issues. That might be a reason that they're really, really, really picky eaters. Like they don't like the taste and textures of, not taste, they don't like the textures of certain types of food. My sister's an occupational therapist, and she always tells me, some kids, they just cannot, they don't like the texture of mushy foods. So once we rule those problems out, then we can do what I'm doing right here. So why do you guys think that children nowadays are so picky? If you guys want to unmute yourselves, you can tell me. Why do you think children are so picky nowadays? Kalani, what do you think?
I think they see, for my children, they see other kids, especially in school, having all this junk food as snacks, and they want to have what they have. And I feel like I try my best to give them fruits and vegetables. I don't.
Yeah, like they see other kids eating like
Right,
chocolate and chips, and they want it too. Yeah.
right,
And then it becomes a prize. Like unhealthy food is a reward for good behavior or to get them to do something, bribery or prizes, and then they get addicted
right.
to the sugar.
Yeah, so both of those are definitely a big part of the reason. Yeah, I know, like in my kids' school and in a lot of schools, they, Shabbat parties and birthday parties, and it's all like, it's the culture. It's like candy, cookies, cakes, like I can always tell when my kids had all that in school, because they come home in the car and they're like jumping off the walls, and I'm like, oh gosh, what did you guys have in school today? So, or at grandma's house, especially at grandma's house. So yeah, okay, good. Those are good answers. Thank you, guys. So yes, those both are part of my answers. And another major one is, big food companies, they put large amounts of sugar, salt, and fat in their foods, in their processed foods to make them delicious and yummy. And they make them, they have an exact science for how big they make their cookies and crackers so that the kids can hold them. And they make them like the exact taste that, filled with chemicals and everything, so that the child will become obsessed with it. And so, when they fill chips with MSG, chemicals, GMOs, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, all of those, they're highly addictive. And, I just want you guys to think to yourselves, think of an Oreo. Now bite into the Oreo and that taste, okay? Go with that taste. Now imagine taking a raw almond and putting it in your mouth and chewing it. The tastes are extremely different. An Oreo is like sugary and delicious. Well, it's not delicious to me, but it's, it's delicious. It has it's like full of flavor. It's, and then the almond is like, you have to chew it for a few seconds to even get the taste. So it's like bland compared to that Oreo. It's like, how can a child go from eating an Oreo to eating an almond? You can't, because your taste buds, when you're so used to eating Oreos and chips, which are such strong flavors, you cannot go from that to eating, healthy, bland foods. They're not bland to me or my kids, but they're bland to the kid who has been eating all those processed, sugary, salty foods. So anyways, those big food companies know that, and they make their products in that way on purpose. So that's one thing. So it's impossible for the palate to enjoy real healthy foods because the taste buds actually change once you're used to those processed types of foods. Okay. So I don't know if you guys have experienced this before, but one night, we all have these nights where we decide to eat like a pint of ice cream and like down a couple slices of cake. And when you wake up the next morning, at least for myself, I realized that I kind of want more sugar. I want more sugar. I kind of want more cake. I kind of want more cookies. And it takes me a few days to wean off of that, like wanting that taste again. And that's how the kids are, like my kids went to Simchat Torah party like a couple weeks ago, whenever it was. And my kids don't usually eat candy, but the shul gave them candy. And my daughter, the next morning, she woke up, and she never does this, but she woke up the next morning and she's like, I want candy. The first thing she said, I want candy. I'm like, I asked my husband, I'm like, did you guys give her candy last night? And they're like, yeah, they gave him a lot of candy. So, I'm realizing for myself that these candies are actually addictive. They've done studies that sugar is the same, it's as addictive as cocaine, and it's true. I see it with my own eyes, and you can't blame these kids. Okay, so let's see. Yes. And I can also say, like, for myself, after I had my third child, I, wanted to lose some weight. And so my personal trainer put me on a diet. It was like a no sugar diet. And I remember for 2 weeks, I was like shaking, and I was literally like coming off of the addiction of the sugar. And I really realized that, whoa, sugar is actually addicting. And, for these 5-year-olds, 7-year-olds, it's extremely addictive too. So anyway, yeah, I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was dying when I was detoxing off this sugar. So the rule of thumb that I've come up with is that the less processed foods your kids eat, the more they will enjoy real healthy foods. And not only will they enjoy it, they'll actually crave it. Like I crave salads. My daughters crave broccoli. Like my 2-year-old is like, broccoli. I'm like, okay, broccoli. Okay, so yeah, like I told you guys, every time they come back for grandpa's house, like they don't want to eat food. They just want to eat cookies and cakes. So, all right. So another reason it's so hard for kids these days, and a lot of them are very picky, is because they do a lot of smart and sneaky advertisements. Like I take my kids to the supermarket sometimes. I try not to because it's disaster. But when I do take them, they see a cereal box with like Anna and Elsa on it. Oh, mommy, we want that cereal. I'm like, you want the cereal or you want the Anna and Elsa? And like they want the Anna and Elsa. They don't even like cereal. So juice boxes, SpongeBob SquarePants, Paw Patrol on graham cracker boxes, like it's out of control. And they do studies where they pay so much money to the supermarkets to put those cereal boxes in like the view of the child's height. So they're very smart about it, and they're winning because the parents are gonna be like, okay, you want this cereal, and they'll get it for them. So yeah, they like, who said it? Was it Shirin? You said they associate candy and cake with like as a treat, or like, good job, or birthday parties, or yeah, that's next on my list. So now that we've uncovered the reasons it's so hard for kids to want to eat healthy foods, now we can finally talk about the strategies of how to overcome these big problems. So firstly, I would say to, as best as you can, get rid of most of the processed foods in your house. Cookies, crackers, and cereals like, Cinnamon Toast Crunch and all those things, Fruit Loops. And so you can take those out, but you can substitute a healthier version, for the time being. Like, for example, does your child love Chips Ahoy chocolate cookies? Okay, so that's like the most processed version of a cookie. So what you could do is you can make your own chocolate chip cookies, and you can use, the healthier ingredients. Like you can use whole wheat flour, and instead of white flour, whole wheat flour has more fiber and more minerals and more nutrients. Okay, and instead of using like those oils that they use, like which are rancid, and they're not good for you. They're rancid and old. So you can use coconut oil, or you can use avocado oil, or a healthier version of an oil. And also, I like to add some nuts to my like crushed nuts to my cookies, so like they're still getting their chocolate chip cookie, but you're just making it a healthier version of it. So, you're not like all of a sudden taking all their treats away. And you can also get them involved with making these new foods that you're going to start making, because, when they're creating the food, they are more likely to eat it. Not that you want them to eat the cookie, but it's better to eat the homemade cookie than it is to eat the Chips Ahoy cookie. So yeah, you can use like coconut sugar instead of white sugar. It's more slow releasing. so it doesn't spike your blood sugar all of a sudden and then crash afterwards. It's just kind of like more like this, you know? And so what else can I do? Oh, like does your child love pizza? So instead of ordering like pizza, where honestly I've seen the way they make pizzas when you order from these stores, they use the like Crisco. Like I watched them make my pizza once. I was like, oh, okay, Crisco, and like not high quality cheeses, you know. And so you can make your own pizza, and you can make it a fun project for the kids. Like I don't know if you guys know what Ezekiel bread is. It's Ezekiel tortilla bread. It's like flat, yummy. It's filled with fiber. It's whole grain. It's a whole grain tortilla. So like instead of white bread, like white dough that they usually use in pizza, which is like all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the fiber taken out of there. A whole grain is a whole grain. It's basically the white flour before they took everything good out of it. So you use the whole grain tortilla, you put your own sauce on it, and then you put the best quality cheese you can get on top of it. You put it in the oven, make it crispy and yummy, and say pizza, and bring out the pizza, and you can have the kids like cut the mushrooms and put them on, and you can have the kids like sprinkle the cheese on and get them excited about it, you know, like we're making pizza. And like a lot of it has to do with the attitude. Like if you're like, okay guys, we can't eat the pizza because it's not good for you, like no, it's like, you guys, let's make pizza. Oh my God, let's make our own pizza. It's gonna be so fun. Rivka, you cut the mushrooms, and then you throw the cheese on, and Arya, you cut the olives. And like you make it like this whole fun thing, so they're like, they have a positive view of it. Like, you know, they feel good about it. They're not like, oh, we can't eat junk anymore. So yeah, so as much as you can, get the kids involved, and because they like to eat their creation. Okay. Another thing that helps the kids want to eat is, this is kind of obvious, but I have to say it, is like physical activity. You know, like when we go to the gym as adults, if we go to the gym, when we come back like half an hour after, like we want to eat, you know, we were ready to eat and we're excited to eat, and you know, but as opposed to the days where we're like just sitting at home and not really doing anything, you know, we're not really that hungry unless you're just eating because you're bored. You're not actually that hungry, you know? So physical activity, like what I like to do with my kids is every morning, if I can, 10 minutes before school starts, I play soccer with them outside, like inside their schoolyard. And like just that 10 minutes of running around, like I feel like it gets them hungry. They're like, mommy, we want watermelon. Mommy, we want like the oatmeal. So so that really helps. You know, you can also, being out in the sun, in the fresh air, you know, I feel like it really helps. Like, just like you feel like, let's eat now. Okay. So, okay. I think out of all the steps, this is really number one. It's like when your children see you eating healthy food, they want to eat it too. They're much more likely. Like sometimes I'll offer my kids a certain food. Like let's say I offer them some salad. They'll be like, no, we don't really want it right now. But then I'll sit down and I'm like, I'm going to eat it myself because I'm really hungry and this looks really, really good. So I'll just sit down and start eating it. As soon as I sit down to start eating it, all my kids run to me, we want. I'm like, okay. So like, because they know that if you're eating it, that it's actually really yummy, and they want to also have like the delicious food that mommy's eating. So the rule is like, if you don't want your kid eating something, don't eat it, at least not in front of them. But like, and they're going to find the foods that you're hiding. Like my husband likes to bring home ice cream and put it in the freezer. And my kids know, like daddy likes to eat ice cream, and they also like to eat ice cream, especially because daddy loves ice cream. But anyway. Okay, so also a lot of people like give up after they keep trying to give their kid like a certain food. Like they keep trying to give their kid broccoli, and after 3 times they just give up because it's so annoying. Like you cook this food and you put it there and the kid doesn't eat it, and you're like, oh, I just worked so hard to cook this. What a waste of money. Like I just give up. I'm not offering you broccoli anymore. But actually there are so many studies done that a kid needs to be offered the same food 10 to 15 times before they actually might like it. So you keep offering it to them, you know, like if make foods that you want to eat yourself and offer it to the kids. And then if they don't want it, then good for you. You get to eat it. And you know what? You keep offering it to them. Keep no forcing, no screaming, just like, you know, put it on the table. If they don't want to eat it, okay, I'm going to eat it. Eat it. They might want to try it eventually, you know. My middle daughter didn't eat meat for like the longest time, but I still made it because I like to eat it myself. And eventually, like, she started eating the meat. She just after like 25 times, she just decided she wants to eat the meat. So I'm glad I didn't stop making it because she didn't want it, you know? So keep offering it to them 10, 15 times. Don't get upset. It's fine. And then, so this is the really fun part that I like to do. So get excited about health. Like, first of all, do not ever, my kids have no idea what fat is. Like, they don't know what it means for somebody to be fat. I've never said anything about like, oh, I'm fat. Oh, my stomach is big. Oh, my arms are chubby. Oh, my thighs are big. Oh, my hips. I've never, ever say anything in front of them. Because it's not about what you look like. It's about your health. Food is there to make you strong and healthy. It has nothing, we should never talk to the kids about our weight. Not say anything to our friend while they're even in the room, because they're really smart and they understand these things. So get excited about health and healthy living. Like, say, this is what I do. When I'm eating like broccoli, let's say, I'll take a bite of the broccoli and I'll be like, oh my God, I feel so strong. Like, look at my muscles. I'll show them, look at my muscles. I eat the broccoli. Look how big my muscle got. Feel my muscle. And they'll be like, whoa, let me feel your muscle. And then they'll be like, I want to have muscles. Then they're going to start eating the broccoli. Then they start doing like, oh, mommy, look at my muscle. And it becomes like this fun thing. And then they start making like good associations with the broccoli, or like carrot sticks. Like, these carrots, look what they do to my eyes. They make me be able to see things that are really, really far away. Like, whoa. And then I'll take a big crunch of the carrot and be like, carrots. And then they'll want to do it too. They think it's funny. So they'll start eating the carrots. And like, they kind of start to like it, you know, they're trying it, they're liking it, it's fun. So yeah, I'd be like, vegetables make me really strong so I can go play basketball and I can jump really high and I can climb things, you know? So this is like combating all the advertising, all the Anna Elsa, all the SpongeBob, and all the Shabbat parties with the candies and cookies and all these birthday parties with all the candies. Like, this is my way of kind of making up for that. Okay. And let's see. Okay. So it might take some time. It will take some time to, you know, take the palate from like sugary candy cookies tasting and liking to, you know, spinach and carrots and kale. You know, it's just like, it might be a slow process, but you have to keep going. Like, the trick is to not give up because the kid won't eat the salad, you know. The trick is, you know, it's a slow process, but just stick with it. This is for the lifelong health of your children. Habits are so, you know, habits start from a young age. And if we don't start good habits of eating healthy at a young age, it becomes extremely difficult to change. You know, not only your tastes, but once you're used to something, it's very hard to change. It becomes like almost impossible to change. And also, like, one big thing that I've seen is like 8, 9, 10-year-olds nowadays, they're really big, you know, they're overweight and they look sad. They're sad about their weight. And I think it's so sad. I get so sad because I know it's not their fault. And, you know, a lot of people large percentage of people are developing eating disorders at a young age on diets at the age of like 7, 8, 9. And I don't want that for any child. And I feel like a big part of that is like you develop a love for healthy food, then you're much, much less likely to end up with the problem, because you're not going to be thinking about, you're not going to be thinking about like, oh, my stomach is big. You're going to just be like, I'm strong, I'm strong and I'm healthy. It's, like my kids don't even know what being fat is, you know what I'm saying? But I've heard a lot of kids in my kids' class saying like, oh, like macaroni, that's going to make me chubby. But like, they've heard it at home. And anyway, it's not about that. It's about the health. And what was I talking about before? Whatever. So, okay. Another thing you can do to combat all these problems that I said before is get a really cute lunchbox. Go lunchbox shopping with your kids. Have them pick out like the cutest lunchbox bag. I have like really cute lunchbox bags. Let me show you. Like, it's pink. It's pink. It's almost as cool as Anna and Elsa. And I have like these cute Tupperware things that are also really cute and like flowery and hearts and all these cute things. So like, so that they feel proud and like excited to open up their lunchbox when they go to school, or when you go to the park and you take food with you. They also like, when you chop things really small, like cucumber slices or like blueberries in a little container, and like cute spoon, sounds ridiculous, but it really makes sense. Okay. And then what you can do is what I do with my daughter, my 5-year-old who takes lunch to school, is I sit down with her and I'm like, okay, and then like, here's 20 things you can choose from for me to put in your lunchbox, like blueberries, all these fruits, all these vegetables, all these everything. Choose which ones you like. This is your choice. And then she'll choose all the things she's in the mood for. And hold on. And okay, so it's telling me I have 8 minutes left. So, okay. So they get to choose. So they feel like it's, they feel like they're big kids, and it's their decision that they're the ones who are choosing these foods, which they are. But you're giving them like 20 things to choose from, and you make sure that you choose foods that you're happy with, and they get to really choose and put it in their lunchbox, so that when they get to school, they feel proud of their lunch, they feel proud of their lunchbox, they feel proud of their food that they chose, and they're going to be much more likely to eat it. Okay. So, okay. I'm on my last page. Okay. So like I said, keep offering the food to them. 10, 15 times it takes for them to, really decide if they actually like the food. Okay. And keep in mind, okay. So when you see them like eating the healthy foods, you have to say things like, wow, I'm so happy that your body is getting so strong and your mind is getting so sharp because you're eating these delicious foods. And they're going to start feeling really good about themselves. They're going to eventually feel good about eating those foods. They're going to actually develop a taste for those foods. Their taste buds are going to change so that they don't require, those strong, sugary, salty, MSG, GMO tastes. And it might be a little hard in the beginning to get past the hump of sugariness and MSG-ness, but once you pass it, it's going to be much easier for you. You're not going to have to sit there. You're not going to have to feel like you have to force them. You're not going to have to be like, okay, enough, no more cookies, it's going to become much easier, and you're going to be so happy because you're going to know that your child knows for themselves what they want to eat, and they're going to actually love to eat the foods. So now I'm going to, if you guys want to get off speaker, if you have any questions, I have like 5 minutes left.
First of all, I love that I loved everything you said. That was fantastic. And I learned stuff, and I'm excited. Like, you get me kind of, you got me like kind of more confident in because like there's like a pressure for your kid to like weigh a certain amount or like, you know, but it makes me feel confident and like, okay, better that she gain only like a pound and eat broccoli than like 3 or 4 pounds and eat whatever French fries and other whatever junk. On a side note, what's a healthy cracker that's okay to eat? Because our house is full of crackers. I don't know what's a healthy one and what's not a healthy one. And like sometimes it's tricky to know.
Yeah, like crackers. It's so funny. Yeah, so
like multigrain. I don't know.
It's so funny because even the multigrain ones, when you look in the back, the first ingredient is enriched like flour, you know. But I wouldn't.
I'm looking at the package now.
There are some that are a little healthier than others. Like I have these sweet potato crackers, but honestly, I wouldn't be so worried about those things. But if you really want to, it's so funny because I'm looking for a healthier cracker too. But I have these ones from Costco. They come in a huge box. They're organic sweet potato crackers.
Oh.
I can look up the brand and tell you, Shireen. I threw away the box, but I have huge.
Okay, I can look it up.
Organic sweet potato cracker.
Okay, I'll look it up.
But like for example, if your child loves to eat crackers, I would look for a cracker, and then I would just put something on the cracker, so it's not like a total, you know, it's not just like nothingness, you know what I'm saying? Because a cracker doesn't usually have anything beneficial in it, you know?
Right.
I would just like add something. I would add like organic almond butter or organic peanut butter or something so that it gives it, you know, it's not just like nothingness, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But try those sweet potato crackers. They're kind of yummy, and they're organic sweet potatoes.
Okay.
Kalani, talk to me.
I was wondering, what do you give your kids for breakfast? I try to give them a few times a week, like poached eggs or omelets. What other, one of them like, or two of them like oatmeal. The other one doesn't like oatmeal.
Oh, okay.
Once a week I make my own waffles. So I don't know what else the other options are except like a very non-sugary cereal. Maybe I do once a week, like a special K with like dried strawberries in there. So I just wanted to know what you do.
Okay, so most mornings the first thing I give my kids is like a fruit. I give them like mangoes. Like I cut mangoes like in little squares. Have you guys ever seen it? And then you open it and it's like little cubes of mangoes.
Right.
Okay, I do that. I do always a fruit, and then I try to do like oatmeal. But oatmeal, I do this organic oats, organic what is it? Oats. It's like not like packaged oatmeal. It's not like instant oatmeal. It's like the one you actually have to cook for like 2-3 minutes. I just put organic milk, the oats, and then I could put some raisins, but my kids actually like it with coconut sugar on top. You could try that. You said your kids like oatmeal?
Yeah, 2 of them do. The other one doesn't.
So the oatmeal, like I would get that best oatmeal. They have it at Trader Joe's. It's oh my god, let me show you. Hold on.
The rolled oats?
Here.
For the multigrain?
Here. Okay. Oven toasted or old-fashioned organic oats. It's like 5 grams of protein, 4 grams of fiber. It's like 1 gram of sugar, and it's organic, and it's you know, it's like close. It's like least processed oatmeal. Okay. For the one, and I would always give a fruit like mango slices or blueberries or blackberries or raspberries or apple or melon or honeydew and any fruit. And then for the child who does not like oatmeal, I would do I would do fruit for sure. And then what do they like do they like bread? Do they like bread?
Yeah.
Like sometimes when they don't want oatmeal, I will get like at Trader Joe's they have this bread. It's also it's the same brand. It's Ezekiel, but it's not tortilla. Yeah, I would use the Ezekiel tortilla or Ezekiel it's like just bread, like bread slices. And I would just put like a little bit of cheese on it or a little bit of almond butter or a little bit of peanut butter, you know? I would just.
Have you tried overnight oats?
I haven't. My kids don't like overnight oats. My kids don't like overnight oats. But I would try, you know what? And I would keep trying different things until you find something that he or she likes. You know what I'm saying? Just keep trying. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying.
Right. Okay.
Keep trying, but just make sure it's like the least process you can get, you know?
Right. And I agree that I think when I become excited about something,
Yeah,
they become excited.
totally. Like, yeah. Like kids are really like, whoa, what is mom excited about, you know?
I cannot totally imagine you doing that.
Yeah.
And I like the way you talk about the food. Like
Yeah.
you teach them what it's doing
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, like they like that. They think it's interesting, you know? Like tell us more about whatever. What does oranges do? You know, what do apples do? So I just want them to have an appreciation for food, you know, like for good food. So hopefully, what I shared with you guys will help you, and I hope that you learned something new. And I want to thank you guys for coming on, and